just gearing up for some DJ gigs this month. So I thought that I would kind of show you how I approach doing this. So to those of you who saw this the first 2 times, my apologies, but I deleted those videos. Let's hope this one works. So basically, a couple things is I get promos from different labels directly to my email. So I have those where those promos get sent to one folder, and then like once every couple weeks I'll download those to my download folder. I won't really bother listening to them at that time. I'll just get them downloaded, and then I'll choose a day after I have a bunch of promos downloaded and stuff that I've purchased either on Beatport or other websites, and then I'll pick a day to kind of go through them. So I do this really pretty quickly. What I'll do is I'll create a folder with the month and the year on it, as you can see here. And then inside that folder, I'll have my early, mid, and late set. And then I have openers. This just makes it easier if I come across a song that would be a good first song to play. And then I have looped grooves. And basically that just means I'm not really into the whole song, but I like certain sections of the songs that I can loop. And since I use Tractor and since I use looping a lot and mixing several tracks together, this works really well for me. So then what I'll do is I'll go through the tracks here from the download folder, and I just hit the space bar, and that'll just pull up a preview. And then I'll just kind of needle drop through it. So for example, that's a pretty cool track. So it sounds kind of like a late set for me. So I'll just go ahead and drag it in there, right? And anything that I'm not really into, I just won't drag it into this folder. If I don't think that I'll play it, then I won't really bother with it. And then just go to the next folder and do the same thing and through it. So as I'm going through, I'm putting some in late, some in mid, some in early. So this way, by the time I'm done with this, for example, I've got 3 different gigs, but they're spaced at different times. So some of them are going to be like more early set gigs, and some are going to be more mid and late set gigs. So this makes it much easier for me to kind of organize my songs in a way of what time period I would play my tracks in, all right? And then what I'll do from here is I'll open up a program called Mixed in Key that uses the Camelot wheel as a way to get the key of the song. So as you can see, this says 6A. And if you look up Camelot wheel, you'll see what this represents, but this represents a specific key. And it will also be melodically harmonic to the keys 7A, 5A, and 6B. So there's like an A and B, and it goes like from 1 through 12. Anyway, check that out. But I'll drag these folders into here, and then it will, like you see here, it will kind of mark the key and the tempo for each track. This makes it a bit easier for me when I'm pulling things into Tractor, because I'll know how certain things work with each other. And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll divide these, into, like, for example, there's not a whole lot of tracks here, but if I have a lot of tracks, then I'll kind of divide them in Tractor. All the early stuff, it'll be like early, mid-early, late-early sort of thing. So I definitely kind of go through the process of kind of the mood and the energy of the tracks. I worry about that first, and then secondary, I kind of worry about the key and if certain songs will match in key, and that kind of keeps the vibe really nice. But You don't want to like depend on that too much, because sometimes it's better to go by vibe and mood and switch to a song that might not be in the same key, but you can make it work a lot better, and the feel of the song is going to be a lot better. Some people don't bother with key at all, and they mix just fine. I just happen to use that as a tool. So yeah, for each one of these folders, I kind of divide each of these into 3 as well. That way, when I'm doing a set, I just know where I'm at for the most part. And also in Tractor, I will kind of take notes on, if there's like a big bass line, or if it's melodic, or it's hypnotic, or if it sounds kind of techy, if it sounds kind of like tighter or looser as far as the groove goes, different things like that, that will remind me what the track sounds like when I'm getting ready to play it. So that's kind of my simple process for putting together my sets. And that way makes it really easy for me to kind of come into a set, know where I'm at, know which folder I'm going to be pulling tracks from, and go from there. Hey, Lucerne, I hope you're doing well. I haven't heard from you in a while. Good to see you on here. Lucerne is, he's a badass that's been doing this for a long time. So you should give him a lot of respect. He's been doing a live weekly show, I think. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but you've done a live weekly show for, God, it seems like at least 15 years or something like that. So anyway, yeah, that's my approach to putting together my set lists. What I left out is, after I put together kind of my early and mid and late set tracks, then I'll kind of make those folders in Tractor, right? So I'll make the playlist, and then from the playlist, from top to bottom, I'll kind of rate it by energy. So the first tracks, even if it's like an early set, the first third of that that set will be like early, then mid early, and late early. So I still go by energy level all throughout, and that makes it a lot easier to for me to kind of figure out what I'm going to play, instead of just going like, oh well, all these songs are in keys, so I'll just work it that way. I first go by kind of vibe and energy level, and then within there I might work on track set that will go together with key, but I don't over concern myself with that. If you're proficient at being able to mix and work in songs and work in a vibe, then you don't need all your songs to be matched in key. Sometimes the mismatch actually makes for some interesting, unexpected things in songs. But you kind of got to test those out, and because some things that are supposed to work don't work, and some things that you wouldn't think would work really well. So basically, what I'm saying is that I've got my set list kind of divided into 9 different groups. I've got my early, mid, and late, and within there, I've got kind of the first third of the playlist is, the least energetic, middle, and then the highest energy. So basically, like, for example, the late, early stuff is going to flow really nicely with the early, mid stuff, because that energy level is going to be really similar. Steve, do you post your sets? Sometimes. I haven't posted a set in a while, just because, to be honest, it's just, well, I post my sets, but I don't post the track listing as often. I just find that to be a little bit of a pain in the ass. But yeah, you could find some of my sets on my SoundCloud. Let me see what the SoundCloud is. My profile is soundcloud.com/Jason-Timothy. Easy. And so I have quite a few mixes up there. And I got some unreleased tracks. And, well, actually, to be perfectly honest, I think some of these are private. I don't share a lot of my demos or unreleased stuff, but I do share my sets. So
yeah, feel free to check that out if you want.